What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tech Talk with me, Kazeem, and I've got Adnan with me today. Hi, Adnan.
Hi, Kazeem. Great to be back.
Adnan, Microsoft recently announced CoPilot for Azure. This is super useful for IT professionals, right, Adnan?
Yes, Kazeem, and unfortunately, using the term game changer again, it's really going to open up cloud use and make it more accessible to more people.
So let's get straight at it, Adnan. But first, before getting into the Azure side of things, for people who are new to this, right, to this whole idea of Copilot itself, so can we touch on that just slightly? What is Copilot? What is it all about?
Well, Copilot, if you look at airplanes, where certain pilots have an automatic Copilot that allows them to fly the plane automatically. Copilot for Azure is basically an AI assistant that's going to assist you with your day-to-day tasks, including, from what you need to design, working on your design, your operations, management, troubleshooting issues in your Azure environment, and also maybe cost optimization.
So now let's get into the meat of today's video, Adnan. Azure Copilot. IT professionals do a lot of things in their job. They get to do design work, they get to worry about operations, they troubleshoot. But now that we have Azure Copilot, what is Azure Copilot and how is it any different from the regular Copilot that we're talking about?
Well, the Azure Copilot is a language, AI, large language model that's designed to only look at your data, just your tenant, whatever you as the user, it will go and give you advice. This is the first time, Kazeem, that we as people can speak to the computer and the computer tells us whatever we want to know or do. And sometimes the computer can perform that function. And this is the first time where computers actually understand us instead of us having to understand computers. Remember the first computer programs, first operating systems, the user had to learn the interface. This way we can just talk to the computer or Copilot, prompt it with our text in this case, and it will just return with whatever we need to know.
So how can we get it, Adnan? How can we get Azure Copilot? And are there any requirements to it?
Right now, it's in preview. So it's in public preview right now. People can go and request for access. And I think the link is aka.ms Microsoft Copilot for Azure Preview. So you can go and click on the link, sign up with your work account, and if you can get access immediately, you'll get access. Otherwise, there's a waiting list because it's really quite busy. Everybody's trying to get their hands on Azure Copilot. Luckily, I was one of the first people to be able to get access to preview. So I've been playing around with it a bit. And Kazeem, it's like having me next to you, and you can just ask me questions, and the Copilot is just telling you, this is the code, this is the questions you have, this is how you do it. And in some cases, you just have to click on the run button.
Many IT pros prefer to use PowerShell or the CLI. So do we also have Copilot with PowerShell and the CLI, or at the moment, can we only use it with the Azure portal?
Well, right now, the Azure Copilot is available through the Azure portal and also the mobile app. So there's also the mobile app for Azure Copilot that you can access to interact with your Azure tenant. But I know a lot of people are used to using CLI, PowerShell, ARM templates, or Bicep through their own tooling and management. And the nice thing is you can request Azure CoPilot to give you samples on how to create whatever you want to create in the option of your choice. So, for example, if I want to have see how to create a virtual machine using CLI, it will give me the CLI code. I can just copy and paste that in my CLI editor or the Cloud Shell and or my own tooling and just perform it. Or it will can create a template and I can go and deploy that template in my organization.
So I'm sure for people who are trying to understand what we're talking about, right? They'll like to see something. What does the Azure Copilot looks like from the Azure portal now?
Let me
Can
just
you
share
say?
my screen, Kazeem, and we can have a look and at a
Okay.
couple of things.
All right.
So right now we're looking at my Azure tenant. I'm signing into the Azure portal. And I've already asked it a few questions today. Now you can see that you have access to the Copilot up here, the button Copilot. And I've already opened that Copilot, but I've just closed it again just to show that by clicking on the Copilot, it will just open up in the pane in front of you. And I'm just going to take you through some of the things that I just done this morning. So it starts up by just asking you, hello, because I'm Adnan, how can I help, right? So I just wanted to show by prompting. Now at the bottom you have this text box where you can just go and type in your questions. You have about 500 characters to play with, and then you can just click on the run arrow, and then we'll go and evaluate what you asked and give an answer. So the first thing I asked today was pretty much a broad, generic question, because everybody's worried about security, right, Kazeem? So I
Yeah.
just wanted to find out if there are any security flaws. Now, obviously, Azure is immense. There's so many services and things that you have in your tenant, so it's a bit too broad. So the nice thing that Azure CoPilot did was it came back with a question saying, sure, it can help, but I need to be more specific. And that's also one of the things that helps with these generative AI copilots is that the more specific you are in asking your question, your prompt, is the better answer you will get. And that's also one of the things that I like to tell all our listeners is that, you know, it's still in preview. And the first thing that you also notice that it says is that AI generated content can also be incorrect. So what we have to do right now in the preview is sometimes just check the answer, validate that it is correct. For example, if you get a script, don't just immediately run it in production. First run it in your test. If it does what it's supposed to do, go run it in production. Right? So it comes back and says, be more specific. What kind of security information am I looking for? And it mentions a couple of samples. So I just asked, can I get security information on all my storage accounts? The nice thing it did was give me a selection of all my storage accounts and just allowed me to select. So once I've selected my storage account, it asked for confirmation. I said yes, and it ran a security check on my specific storage account, and it came back with a number of recommendations. So right off the bat there, Kazeem, it's immediately somebody that just might not even know how to create a storage account can ask, how do I create a storage account or create a storage account? And in my example, recommendations to enhance security. So telling me about, you know, needing a firewall, securing access to my storage account, using private endpoints, access keys, and also already showing me that the data in my storage account is encrypted using the Microsoft managed keys, but I can also go and use my own custom keys, so, and as an example to show that, it's still a work in progress and not all things can be modified or updated. I immediately went to ask it a question to change the performance of my storage account. Remember, you have premium performance and also standard. And then it came back saying, sorry, there was an issue creating the performance tier and asking me to manually change the performance tier in the portal. So once again, I could have asked, how do I do that? To show me the steps to manually change the performance in my storage account.
Okay, Adnan. So if I have all of this, Adnan, why then do I need Adnan? I mean, I can just as
Well,
well.
Kazeem, this is still in preview, and the nice thing is this is one of those things that really just going to aid people like myself. In fact, it's going to aid everybody. Remember, Kazeem, things are changing at a rapid pace, and nobody knows everything in Azure. There's so many services running in Azure that you can go and create, both in the cloud, on edge, things that you can manage through Azure Arc. And I know that for a lot of people, because I still do training and workshops, this is still a bit overwhelming. But Azure CoPilot is going to be a lot of help to especially getting people up to speed. So let's say people know a little, it will help them learn to know a lot. And for those people that already know a lot, it's going to just help them to speed up their operations, fine tune their troubleshooting, and just get their work done at a much faster pace.
Alrighty then. So that's what we've got for you today on the Tech Talk Show with Adnan and myself. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. So we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.